Hi everyone, welcome back to Not Creda. I hope that you all are doing great. I am doing okay. It is raining, which I love the rain. We are making some quote unquote on trend jewelry. Now, when I say on trend, you know, the jewelry that has like names and things like that. So we're just going to make I want to make two more. I really want to make 5 pieces, but I don't think I'll be able to because I'm running out of raw material. So we have these two right here. One says love, another one says mercy, and somehow I put this heart backwards. And if I was really into it, I would go back and fix it, but I'm not. Although this one, see, this one fits nicely, right? This one fits nice, and this one fits a little bit too loose. So you know what? Yeah, let's just do that. We're gonna fix it all. All right, I think what I need to do in order not to have it dangly is I'm going to have to remove, it can't just be all large beads. It's going to have to be something else in between. So what I want to do, we're going to do this like that. Fix that heart, because yeah, that would have bugged me. I would have wanted to take it apart eventually. First, let's spell mercy properly. Right? Mercy. Boo coop. That's what Daisy the Train says on Thomas. Right now, I have revolted against Thomas. And we don't watch Thomas that much in the house. But my son, I asked him what he wanted. Oh, that's not cute. I asked him what he wanted for his birthday. And of course, he said a Thomas cake. And so that's easy. Although his birthday is not for a long time. It's in October. So we'll see what he still wants, if he still wants Thomas later on, which I think he will. He's very persistent and dead set on whatever it is that he wants, which is good. You know, he's kind of growing into his own when it comes to being a little individual, but he's also still a baby. Because he still cries for certain things, and he still, you know, just acts a certain way when it comes to not getting his way. But I mean, who doesn't, right? Like when we don't get our way, we probably throw tantrums too, which is fine. You know, I think we're all allowed to have a pity party for a few hours. We're all allowed to just do that. So what I'm going to do now is we have our letters and we have our words. I'm just working off each side. So as I add something to one side, I'm just adding it to the other side. And I'm going slower on one side, it seems, than the other side. So this is a basic pattern, I think. Yeah, I think this is a basic pattern for us. And we should be good to go. This should not take too long. And I think we're done. But I'm going to just... Now I'm going to throw in some of these little white pearls right here. You know, I have a saying when someone does something, I'm like, oh, I'm clutching my pearls. I mean, a lot of people probably say that they clutch their pearls. So I'm not the only one that says it, but I always, like, whenever I say it, my friends are like, oh no. Especially like in the gaming community, I'm like, oh, did you just... I'm clutching my pearls over here, and it's like, uh-oh, somebody gonna clutch their pearls. Meaning, you know, when they say somebody, it's just me. Funny. Video games may bring me a lot of joy. So now we're just going to check and make sure that we have our pattern, and we don't see it's white, gold, white, gold. We should have a white here. Not a letter. Okay. All right. And I'm going to stop it right here for this side. I'm going to continue it, but I want to take this off now. And we're going to go to this. So it should be, this is wrong. Oh my goodness. All right, I think we got it. If not, we're going to be in trouble. So I have opted not to use my needle, but needles are your friend. and they are great to use. So if you use a needle, yay. I just decided not to this go around, because the stretchy cord is thick and some of the little tiny beads struggle. Like when I did love, they kind of struggled to go on there. So yeah. So I think that you'll probably see me rocking, not this one, but like a blue and green one, or silver and blue really frequently. I'm having issues with jewelry right now. Especially when I'm making the jewelry, I need to not have my other bracelets on or whatever, because I feel like they don't look right, or you may think, oh, you added that to it. So I just prefer, actually I'm not a big jewelry wearer. Only like when I'm going to events and things like that, I will wear it, because it just feels constricting sometimes. But that's okay. So I'm not sure how you all feel about the summer being here, but I'm super duper happy. If it rains every day, that would probably make me sad, but I am okay with the rain. We need the rain like badly. We had put some seed down, and I still think it looks sick. It still looks sick, but the big roommate's like, oh yeah, you can definitely tell. I'm like, why is that brown dirt showing? So I think what we need to do is just have someone come out and put some more dirt down, like a couple of inches, because our house is on not a hill but like a slant, so it kind of goes down like that, and it's just weird. It's weird. The backyard grass looks great compared to the front yard, so I'm assuming we get more sun in the front than the back. So it's like shaded. You get more shade in some areas where you can tell that it's growing. And I must admit, I am not a big proponent of cutting the grass. I'm like, I can't wait till that little guy gets bigger. That's what his job is going to be. I'm like, you missed a spot. Make sure you trim those hedges really good now. You're probably like, Mom, go in the house. I'm like, oh no. No. Because right now, he's 5 and you tell him to do something, he gets so distracted. Like, I'm like, go put your books on your bookshelf. I hear him talking, playing upstairs in his room. I'm like, that is not the assignment. So then when I go and do it, he's like, no, these are my books. My stuff. Now I think I just made this thing extra long. We probably throw this around our neck and make a necklace. Yep, I think it's too long now. Too much. So you see how right here it does complete the pattern though. So what I am going to do is I'm just going to take off 3. Because look at that. That's a 3. It's a 3 removal at the most. So let's just slide all this out the way. And we're going to make sure. So right here we have, so by us taking off 3 pieces, so you see how it's gold, white, large, white. We need to, well, I guess we'll have to do 2. Stop this at gold because it's gold, white, right? And that doesn't look right. But let's see if it fits our hand. What I'm gonna do, yeah. Just to complete the pattern. So I took off 3 and I'm gonna add 1 back. Hopefully this will be sufficient enough. If not, I'm just gonna throw an oddball piece in. I don't know. No. I still don't care for that too much. Let's take off 2 pieces. And we're going to put, yeah, let's try that. Now you see right here, if I was to tie it right there, I think that'll be fine. I just don't like that it's not the pattern that I created, which is fine. I know that sometimes with stretchy, depending on how big these pieces are that you're using, it can mess up the pattern, and I'm okay with that. I just don't want it to be super dangly. I like for it to fit. Let's see, I'm just checking. I think that'll be fine. Yeah. So take this off. Scoot this all the way over. We have this much left, and we're just going to scoop that down some. We're going to cut this. Now, I'm not too concerned about wasting. I am, but I'm not too concerned about wasting the stretchy cord, because stretchy cord is fairly inexpensive, but I would prefer, and this came with the letters that I'm using, and they look like this, and it was 14, it says 1,400 pieces, so I'm okay with that. I got that from Amazon. But I would say, if you have a store near you, check out the sales and do your, you know, go online and check and see if you like that better. I pay for it. So, and I don't have an affiliate link or anything like that. But if you're interested, you could probably just type in bead letters, alpha beads or something like that. But I do think that you probably could get a better deal local if you're like out and about. But I do like that little container that comes in and everything like that. I probably will end up buying more alpha beads depending on what's going on. I guess alpha beads are only alphas that I like, right? So just going to pull this some. I like to make sure that these knots are super good, especially with stretchy beads, because over time you can pull them out. So if you have like a glue that will adhere, I would definitely recommend getting some adhering glue. I usually use like whatever glue I have on hand, which could be Aleene's art glitter glue. Any other glue I think will kind of, that says it works on plastic, I would use it. But also if you have jewelry glue, then that would be even better. So I'm just going to slide this bead over that knot. Oh my goodness. Come on now. All right. And there we go. If you want your little dangly pieces to stick out, that's fine. I don't like for them to stick out. You know, sometimes people will stop you and ask you, oh, where'd you get that from? And if you say you made it, then you may get a commission. Not that I'm out here looking for commissions from strangers or whatever, but I mean, it's possible. So I'm just going to put some glue on there. And you know, you need to let it dry before you start messing with it, even though I'm going to start messing with it. Just so you know. But there's 1, 2, and let's work on our last one. So love, mercy, and grace. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put these white beads in here. And you know, like if you've ever watched me make 3 or more or 2, I always like to have these beads tie in, so you see how these coincide with this coincides with this. So now we're going to use these larger ones with the white, and we're going to tie something else in, because I do plan on making just a naked one with no letters. So G R A C E, and we're going to put 2 in between each one of these versus 1, just to change the pattern up some. And we probably could have did a gold and a white one. Yeah, let's do that so it's not too. Now I normally don't have a freestyle. I normally don't freestyle the jewelry that I make. I usually have some type of weird pattern in my head or something to go along with it. But like right here, we just try to plop them down, and then I'm going back and adjusting, just because I like that. I'm not sure what it is about me that does that, likes it. So we're gonna go ahead and put this in here. I had started to say earlier, I think, about comfortability when you're making these bracelets. Like, I don't like for them to be super uncomfortable, because if they're uncomfortable, then you're not going to really want to wear them. at least in my opinion. That has been my synopsis of the situation, is that if they are uncomfortable, you don't wear it. And I could be wrong, but I'm sure that that is not an understatement about being comfortable in wearing the jewelry. Now, I don't know if I really care for that like that. Let's see. Yeah, let's do this one. That looks okay. So we're going to put that there, and we'll do this. So now you see how I'm incorporating this, because this, we're going to do gold. We're going to make this a plain bracelet. These beads right here come from Hobby Lobby. They were $2.99. It's a 2-strand. So when that, like for me, not that this is a segue. Normally I buy these on sale, so it's $1.50. And so I just say, okay, 75 cents per strand is how I look at it if it's 2-strand. I always try to break it down like that to see if it's most economical or not. If it's not, then I tend to leave it right there on the rack and try something else. I'll try something else. Okay, so we got those two, and now let's just throw in an oddball of a I'm gonna switch it up a little bit, I guess. And you know, when you're making jewelry, it's not about what other people like, especially if it's for you. It's about what you like. So sometimes you know, you may see someone walking around with this big, ugly, to you, ugly necklace on, but to that person that's wearing it's like amazing. They love it. I'm gonna take these out. They may actually love the necklace, and you know, who are you to judge them for their ugly piece of jewelry when you're probably walking around with some ugly jewelry too. Like, I know as I've gotten older, I realize that what I like, other people don't like, so I don't even worry about those types of situations anymore. If I'm in a situation where I think this is gonna work. I think this is gonna work. Because we're going to stop off right there. Yeah, let's try this out. Let's see. But you know, I've been in situations where I was trying to fit in, and I just realized that I don't fit in at all. Like, I'm just this awkward, weird person. And you know what? There's so many awkward, weird people in the world. So I'm definitely okay with that. Like, nothing bothers me about being different at all. So I met a lady before who, if you looked up eccentric, she would be in the dictionary. That type of lady. When I was in this stitching bitch group, you know, you meet up and you go and you crochet or you knit and you just kind of hang out basically. So I was in that group for a while, and this lady came in, and she had the easy yarn where you make easy projects, and she had it sewn in, and she had a book. And I think she's probably one of the first people I ever met that had a junk journal. But I don't think they were calling them junk journals when I first met her. She was like, oh yeah, look at this book. And somebody was like, oh, that's really nice, blah, blah, blah. And she had pulled out whatever she's working on, which was some easy yarn. I think it's loom. No, it's from Red Heart. And it's like ruffle yarn. And I thought the yarn was really pretty. I actually went on a hunt for it to get it. And now I don't even like it anymore. I've made a few necklaces, a few scarves, and gave them to people and sold some or whatever. But, you know, someone else that was she was knitting. She was like, oh yeah, that's basic yarn, blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, I didn't know there was a difference. And the person that kind of ran the group, she was like, oh, it's not a difference. You know, basically she was saying that the lady was being a yarn snob. I'm like, okay. Okay. But the lady was so like unique. She had on like these big glasses. Her clothes were like mishmatched. They all the colors matched, but she didn't match, like with patterns and stuff. And then she was just eccentric. And I always, I love an eccentric person. I love people that are eccentric. Not to the point of like creepy eccentric, but like, you know, that they don't care. Eccentric. I hope that makes sense. Because you can be eccentric and worry a lot. Or you can be eccentric and be like, I'm my own person. I make my own boundaries. I have no, I have no boundaries or whatever. And she was one of those people. And I was just like, and I never saw her back at the group. I guess she was like, this ain't my type of people. And me as a hermit, a stay in the house kind of person, I could respect that. Like, how people say I can get behind that. Yes, I could definitely understand that. And I went to a few of them. But I think that for me, because I was working and with my free time, because I worked a lot. I worked too much. I would go to work before it got daylight and came home after it was dark. And that's stressful. Especially living, alone or whatever. I would always be fearful. And my mother's husband used to live with me at one point. Then he moved, so it was even more stressful. And then I just had me and Nicholas and I. Oh, that looks great. Yes, so let's go ahead and work this out a little bit. We're gonna cut this off and move this out of the way. Are you making these bracelets? Are you on trend? I don't consider myself to be on trend ever. But I'm always trying to make a stretchy bracelet. So the fact that people are making stretchy bracelets or memory wire bracelets, because I saw some like a stack. It was stacked high. A memory wire bracelet. I was like, oh, that is so cool. But I love a good stretchy bracelet, and I love that these things are accessible and people making them. I love it. So will you see me make a whole bunch of these for Not Creda? Probably not. I may make 2 more, if that, but I don't think I will. Just because. So I did a lot on that one. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this down. Get this glue out. Slide it over. Come on. There we go. Slide it just a little. Oh, snap. Slide it a little bit over. All right. And we're just going to let it sit. And we're going to make 1 more together. And we'll be done with today's Not Creda. Do I think I'm going to make another Not Creda? Probably not. So G-R-A-C. Wouldn't it be funny if I didn't spell it right? So if you notice, like on the love one, I just made it connect. Mercy, I put 1 in between. And then love, I put 2 because I was just like, yes. So now we're going to make, I wanted to make 5. So maybe we'll make 2 more. We'll see. Okay, so we have run into a slight problem. Not major. But we only have 4 of these, right? And this one is dented, which we're still going to use. I think. Yeah, we're still going to use it. Maybe. We'll see. So we have 4 of those. And I need to use those in there because we have it in here. And I don't want to make 1 bracelet with just these 2 sizes because it would be too bulky. Now this is recycled material. And I don't have access to go and get any more. I do have this bracelet. I mean, this situation right here. But I think these are glass beads. And this is plastic. And so far we've used all plastic. I think this is glass though. This is a glass bead. I think. Or maybe that's acrylic as well. But, so that, that's the issue. What are we going to do? So what we're going to do is we're going to design something. This is going to just be 1 bracelet though. So we don't have to really like stress out about it. But I need to make it look like it was planned. So I think I can do 2, 2. I can do 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2 on all of them, except for that. And that can be the differentiating thing. So, and actually, no, we'll do 2, 2, 1. Right? That just doesn't make any, it's weird. So we'll do, yeah, we got it. We got it. No worries. Yeah, I think this will be fine. I think this will be fine. Just like that. So we got the gold piece, white, crackle, gold, pearl. Yep. I think this will be fine. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces. Let's see if we can make this work. All right, let's try this pattern. Let's see if I have mastermind this enough to make it work. I'm hoping I have, but we will see. We're gonna go ahead and put these on and just continue to chit chat a little bit, I guess. Yeah. What are your plans for the summer? My plans are to just take it easy. Not get stressed out about stuff that I have no control over, and just be happy. Like, that's really my ultimate goal always, is just to not let other people worry and stress me out, which I'm a worrier and a stressor outer person. So it's easy to say and not do. The big roommate wants to start traveling again. I'm like, well, where you want to go? I think that's going to be perfect. I think it's going to be perfect. I'm like, where you want to go? He's like, I don't know. I'm like, well, when you figure it out, let me know. I really want to go to Las Vegas for all the wrong reasons, but I want to go to Las Vegas. Not to go gambling. It's a few places I want to go, but I don't think I want to be traveling to those places anytime soon. But I do next year, next summer. We're going to do some stuff. And I think the reason why I'm saying next summer is because my son will be almost 7. He'll be going on 7 next year. Wow. And he'll be able to understand consequences a lot better, hopefully. Because right now my son lives his life through rose-colored glasses, which has always been the plan for him to not have to deal with the harsh, cold reality as a child. Who wants to do that? No child should do that. But he's never met a stranger, if that makes any sense. Like, he's like, hi, hello, how are you doing? And he's a hugger, and he always likes to just chit chat. What are you doing today? How's your day going? What's your name? My name is, this is my mom. And then, so, that could be a little bit worrying for me. Did we get it? Oh, so close yet so far. Almost. This one may have to be a little bit on the loosey-goosey side, which I don't want it to be on the loosey-goosey side. So what we could do, but then I have to go back and take, yeah, you know what? That's what we'll do. We'll take one thing off. I think we'll take off the white at the end. All right, so sometimes bead size definitely matters, and I am aware of that when I'm doing this. But my whole issue is you can't tell where the pattern starts and stops. With this one, you will be able to tell where the pattern starts and stops. So on the last one that we do, we're going to make it a reverse pattern as well as a forward pattern. And that, in my head, I just made that up. In my head, it just means that each pattern will be the exact same on both sides. So it won't be too difficult to hide. Uh-oh. Alrighty. All right, so this is our pattern for this. I also want to talk about how I measure the bracelet. It may seem like it's just willy-nilly, and you know what? It probably is willy-nilly to some. I just take the end and I touch it to the other side with my wrist inside, and wherever it is, I just clamp it off, and then I just give myself a little bit of wiggle room. Because I'm making these bracelets to my wrist size, so they may be too small for some and too large for others. But if you're making your jewelry for yourself, that's something you can go by. I think, like if you get a jewelry book, or you can Google it and just say, what is the standard bracelet size? I'm assuming it would be between 6 to 10 inches. I know that's a rough range, right? Basically, it should cover everyone. But some people have dainty wrists, including men. And then some people don't have dainty wrists. Some people have large wrists. So that's something to keep in mind as well. The same thing with necklaces. If you go by your neck size, it may fit perfect for you. But if you're making it for someone else, then it may not fit. So that's something you need to keep in mind when you are making jewelry. I know a lot of people just, I would say, make a generic size. I always like for my necklaces to kind of dangle. All right, so this is the last one, and it is a little bit, I can tell, I feel like it's going to be a little bit on the loose side, but I want to complete that pattern, like I said, versus the last one. No one really knows that pattern like they're messing around with your bracelet and looking at it, unless you were selling them or something like that. If you want to be more precise, then definitely I would say figure that out. But you know, bead size is different, especially if you're doing a pattern with 3 to 4 different bead sizes and bead types and textures. Even, you know, seed beads, for example, are very notorious for being different sizes. So a lot of people, when you do seed bead, in my opinion, when you do seed bead projects, the people that are doing them, you know, they say roughly, they don't ever say 10 seed beads, they say grams. A lot of times people say grams because, you know, you're weighing it or whatever. If you're making a bracelet, I feel like it doesn't matter. That's just my opinion. Or earrings or whatever with a seed bead, I feel like it, oh, I done lost the thing. Yeah, I feel like that's not really important. But some people may feel like it's important. And then if that's, you know, if that's the person that's making it, then he or she will definitely adjust. So this is absolutely excited about them. I feel like we did a great job, and we're going to go ahead and put these babies on. All right, so this is the end result. Now, for me, as my wrist goes from smaller to forearm, I would say try to find your smallest bracelet and put that first, versus the most loose. The most loose should be at the top, which I think this one is probably the most loose. So that's just something to keep in mind. And like I said, whenever I make like more than one bracelet, I always try to make sure that they coincide with each other, the colors and everything like that. So you can see how these colors match, and then you can see how this matches with that, and then the little pearls match and everything. I put Grace on backwards. Mercy, Love, and Grace. Just chose those because, you know, we need to always have grace and mercy and love. So that's just something to think about. This is ginormous in my opinion. This is a big bracelet, like one big ginormous bracelet, but I like it. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. I want to say thank you for watching. Until next time, happy crafting.